Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Alabama son unalives his mother, and then his older brother unalives the younger brother after the younger brother calls the older brother to let the older brother know that he unalived his mother. Listen how this twisted tale plays out and tell me that there wasn't a cry for help at some point or time during this whole situation. Now, sit back, enjoy the ride. Let's do it. All right, you know what it is, unique Mecca audio, man. Now, we're going to play this joint out, and you're going to see how this play out. This is tragic. I just want y'all to listen. All right, let's get this going.
On Sunday night, flashing lights and crime tapes surround the outside of a home on Ross Street. On the inside, officers say they found two people, a mother and son, dead, and another son alive.
This was a domestic-related incident involving, unfortunately, a mom and her two sons.
Officers responded to the home just before 6 o'clock. Investigations reveal 25-year-old Brandon McDuffie fatally shot his mother. Officers identify her as 52-year-old Tracy McDuffie. The department says the son and mother got into an argument, resulting in the first round of gunfire.
Once the initial shooting did take place, there was some sort of communication to let that other son know that something did take place.
Blake Brown with the Mobile Police Department says from here, McDuffie's other son came to the home, and a second tragedy strikes just moments later. Police report the second brother then shot his younger sibling.
Situations.
Now, just picture that, right? You walk into your house and you see your mother on the floor. I'm just giving you a reality. No one is wishing this on no one, but we just have to wake the people up so they understand how serious this is. You walk into the house and you see your mother dead on the floor with multiple gunshot wounds, and your brother standing there. What would you do? How would you react? Could you even fathom being put in that situation right there? He runs in and he sees his brother, and they say he fires a shot. So now his brother fires back. And a shootout occurs, and he dies, and now they're sending it to the grand jury to see if it's self-defense. I mean, you determine, do you think that's self-defense? Put it in the comments. But this is how real it is. This is everyday life for some people. And what I'm thinking as I'm sitting here listening to this is, the brother calls him and tells him to come over, and he comes over, and he also has a firearm on, allegedly illegally. So here's two brothers that's moving around on the street with firearms. One get into it with the mother. I guess the mom tell him, you got to get a job. I'm tired of you sitting around here doing nothing. You ain't going to be playing me like that. You're not paying my bills. You ain't contributing nothing. And he ain't trying to hear none of that. And she's like, man, turn that game off. And all he want to do is play with the Sony PlayStation and have his pistol next to him. And mom was like, no, you got to do better than this. Ain't no man supposed to be sitting in here. You ain't put $1 towards this rent. You ain't pay a light bill. You ain't buy a Captain Crunch. You ain't buy nothing. Man, mom got ahead with that, man. And she back at him. Nah, boy, I raised you. I birthed you. I made you to be better than that. And he's like, man, now it triggers I'm better than that. What's wrong with me the way I am? How you see me, mom? You don't like the way I look? You don't like the way I act? What's wrong? I'm just being me. And mom was like, you ain't no good, boy. You just like your daddy. And then now he thinking about his daddy ain't never been there. Just hypothetical. You know, so now he's furious. You know, so mom cops back to smack him, and you know, he does what he do when he in the street, when he feel like he's in danger, he just reach. Not thinking, but bang. You understand what I'm saying? And just let off and just went into a zone like he was being attacked, but that could be from the trauma that he's had in his life. The trauma that he had in his life made him react in the manner that he reacted for the environment that he was raised in. If y'all could really understand what I'm saying, I'm giving it to you real as I can give it to you. I'm not giving a justification. I'm not getting modification. Rest in peace to them, and may the brother that survived, you know, have a Lord's greatest message, blessings. Because this is a sad situation, but it's a real situation. So that's why I want y'all to really understand where we at, that we have to come together when we see, you know, the youngers or, you know, our peers or the elders that's not moving in a manner that you know is right under, you know, civilized people's ways of moving. You know, it's best to let someone know, because he had to show some type of signs. You don't just get mad and just, you know, your old mother. You could imagine the traumas that he's been through in his life that put him in that headspace to even want to react like that. And I done seen all kinds of people and been all types of places and done all types of things. So I could really picture these things when I do these videos. That's why I like to do these videos, because I want y'all to tap deep into my mind so you can understand, you know, because some people just say, oh, he crazy, he killed his mama, you know, but that's how you missed it when he was younger and he showed these traits of having these mental illnesses that we in our community, we take for, oh, he just crazy. And then, you know, that's the end of it. And let him go on and do something crazy and crazy and crazy and crazy and crazy and crazy until they rise to the top. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? We have to recognize these things in our peers in order for them to get help. We have to recognize these things. You know, let's get back to this.
Things like this are sad. I can't imagine the other brother walking in and finding out that his brother shot his mom, and then the brother's pointing a gun at him.
We went to the
right there, brother's pointing his gun at him. You see what I'm saying? You walk in the house and your mother's laying down dead. She got multiple bullets in there, and your brother's pointing a gun at you. You know, so now you come in and of course somebody fires. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're both in danger. So no matter who fired first, but if if the brother that killed the mother fired first, then of course he all the way in the clear. But either way, it don't matter. He got a gun in his hand and mama laying dead on the floor. He ain't stable. It's time to put him down. It's time to take him out. It's my brother. I love him. But right now, he's not my brother. Because he just my mother. That's how real this is. I know dudes, right? Let's take a ride. We ain't take a ride yet, right? We gonna take a ride. I know dudes that mothers is crackheads, and dudes go out to hustle, sell crack, and bring crack home to the mother. I know where the mother waking the son up saying she wants some crack, and he turns around and he hands her crack like it's $2 to go to the store to go get a bed. And they love their mother. And their mother out there stealing and jostling, doing all types of things, living grimy and abandoned buildings and all of that. But they love their mother. So to come in and see your mother on the floor, how would you react? Somebody explain this to me so I fully understand. Because now they're saying that they're sending his paperwork up to the grand jury to see if it was self-defense. You walk in and dude, just anybody, this is common sense. You walk in and you see your mother unalived on the floor, and your brother stand over with a gun, and y'all get to arguing. And one winds up dead, and the other one is fighting to see if it was self-defense or not. especially the one that just came to do a wellness check is the one that wound up surviving. So you're putting him through the trauma of losing his mother and taking his brother's life. And then now him losing his life. That's trauma being created right there. Think about what I just said. See, I'm getting real psychological on you right now. I took $3,500 of that psychological training in federal prison, and I also got my surf safe, and I'm a certified electrician, certified plumber, HVAC, refrigeration. Learned all that from the federal government. Big round of applause to the federal government. Relax. Relax. Yeah, but I got all those certificates. I can't even pronounce the certificates. You know what I mean? But I earned them because I wanted to better myself and be able to understand myself. And this is sponsored by Cashbox. Remember that. And I want to give a shout out to my man, DC Big Mo, aka Mo Styles. Keep writing them books, man. When the movie coming out? That's all I want to know. When the movie coming out? It's a brother I was locked up with in Atwater. I mean, official dude, young dude. There's two Mo Styles, right? There's the elder Mo Styles, and then there's Mo Styles. But both of them brothers is thorough, and they carry that name Mo Styles appropriately. Both of them. Big shout out, round of applause to the Mo Styles. All right. Big round of applause. All right. Yeah, I like when I see that. You got the big Mo Styles and the little Mo Styles because we're dealing with an age bracket, but it's still respect all the way in the middle because that means that, you ring bells, so I'm going to ring bells too, and we're going to ring bells together, and that's how family move forward, But like I said, you walk in and you see your mother on the floor. How do you react? But then again, you walk in with a pistol. So how you living? You see what I'm saying? How you living? You got a pistol on you to go do a wellness check. And is it legal or illegal? Y'all put in the comments you all want to play. You know how to rap, flip flop in public trolls. They just need. That's about it. But that's where I'm at with them. My heart races when I think about them because instead of sitting back, catching the jewels and getting an understanding so they can further their education and perception of life, they want to just say the dumbest thing that come to their simple little mind. And that's crazy. And we don't need to do that. But I went down to DC, did a few things down in DC. Let's finish this up, then I'll tell you my the road trip.
Neighborhood where the shooting happened just 24 hours ago. I spoke with several neighbors who didn't want to be on camera. Some people even got emotional thinking about yesterday's shooting. And those that knew the family best say yesterday's events are a total shock. And Sunday's shooting is just the latest example of gun violence in Mobile. Brown says it's a call for change in the community.
I don't know what an easy answer is to solve it, but we know one step would be for folks to let us get involved early on so that we can hopefully prevent stuff like this from happening again.
And that's where we at, man. So
some sort of communication.
I don't understand how we're gonna do this, but at some point this has to stop because we turn around and we do things to harm each other. Don't your brothers, sisters, life or well-being mean anything to you? You can't sit here and tell me that it don't, But do you think that the older brother that came, that found out that the younger brother had killed his mother, and the younger brother is standing there with a gun in his hand, and they get into an argument, a shootout insists, and the older brother that came to do the wellness check on the mother and found the brother standing over him with the pistol should be indicted for the murder of the brother that just killed the mother. You see, do I just walk you through that and stay right on beat, right on step? That's how you have to listen is to really understand so you comprehend and tap into my mind and know why we're doing what we're doing. Put in the comments if you think that he should be charged with the murder of his brother because he did shoot his brother with a firearm. But then now you have to look at the statute, where the statute is broken down to explain that even though he shot him with a firearm, was it intentional? Was it malice? Was it premeditated? And then it had different little codes next to the statute. Now they have an exemption for when they have, self-defense, stand your ground, and other things that say you're allowed to put a cap in his head if you get out of line, and it's called stand your ground. See how simple that is? You see how you get jewels over here, Unique Mecca Audio? I can't give it to you no more simpler than that. I'm just sitting here, I'm just trying to make sure that y'all really understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. We had in our community a 25-year-old son kill a 52-year-old mother, and a 32-year-old older brother comes and finds the 35-year-old standing over the 52-year-old mother, riddled with bullets. They get into arguments, gunshots fire, ensue, as they say. And then now the younger brother winds up dead, and now the older brother that came to check on the mother and the brother is being charged with the murder of the brother that unalived the mother. Is this a mother or what? You see how this is just resonated in my head like it's nothing, man. I mean, yo, this is crazy, but it's everyday life, and this the life that we don't want you to have to live, because this is not how civilized people live. When we see these early signs of mental illness, we need to report them and not just mark them off as he tripping. Make sure you subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel. Put the number up there first. This is my number if you want to call. If you got any content you want me to speak on, send it to this number. Just text it to the number. I'll look at it and we go from there. But definitely, if you text this number, put your name and where you're from so I can kind of know who it is in case I return the call, and we can start a communication. But I first have to know your name and where you're from. Nice and simple. And that's how we meet each other in a civilized society. I'm not doing nothing illegal, so I don't have to hide my number. You understand? So if I could help you or you could help me, we work together. That's what a community is all about. All right. But now also don't forget, subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel at Juanita Mecca Audio. Juanita Mecca Audio. That's the little Mecca. You know what I mean? Her joint is real deep because she speaks about what it's like growing up in prison without her father, because he chose to sell drugs and poison his community and being taken away from me for 26 years. So we always hear about how we handled the 26 years, but her YouTube channel explains how she handled it from a 7-8-year-old child until she was 34 years old before she could physically touch her father as a free man. And I think that's a dope concept. And I think it helps for her to get her trauma out. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm glad that, we was able to connect, and, she's doing that. So y'all need to go over there and check out Juanita Mecca Audio. I'm just giving it to you 100, man. But again, thank you for tuning in. You know how we do. And subscribe to Unique Mecca Audio Prison Story. That's where I put all my prison stories at now. Unique Mecca Audio Prison Story. Then we got Mecca Audio TV. Go to Mecca Audio TV. I just put up random videos, and that's how we just show love, just to show you where I'm at. And like I said, the number up there, we family, that's how we do. But don't forget to subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel. See how fly we did that? And I want to thank everybody that donated a Cash App towards building this studio the way it needed to be. Look how glossy and clear and fly this look. You get a round of applause. 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 We got all kinds of flack. He's very naked. He's everything under the sun. I just laughed and just kept building the studio. And look what I give you now. From y'all blessing me, and I appreciate you and I thank you. Let's tap out. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops make an audio.
Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. And we gon' do it like. We gon' do it like. We keep it moving like. We gotta do it like.
Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. Baby horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops make an audio.